안 펼쳐져서 못 하겠는데.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you. And I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning with the house.
이게 뛰는 게 아니라 확대가 되네. 시프트를 누르면 컨트롤이랑.
I lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
신기하다 자막이. 자막 나온대요. 똑같은데요 내용이랑.
Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
신기하다. 자막을
I hadn't
되게
been back
특이하게
since my brother
나왔네.
Lewis's funeral.
아 맞다. 방제랑 바꿔야겠다. 바뀌었다?
In her will, my mother left me a key but didn't tell me what it unlocked. Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
분위기가 되게 신기하고 나 이런 거 좋아해. 읽을 거 많은 거. 근데 달리기가 없는 건 조금 아쉽네. 점프는 되나? 점프도 안 되네.
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
감사합니다. 목소리 좋다고 해주셔서. 난 현실에서 사슴 본 적 있다. 옛날에.
The truth is,
동물원 말고.
even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
가족에 대한 뭔가 비밀이 있나 보네. 집이 되게
The
이상하게
house was
생겼다.
exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it.
이렇게 생긴 집이 어디 있어 세상에. 무슨 무서워서 저긴 가지도 못하겠다. 저 위쪽엔 가면
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. Now, as a 17-year-old, I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
아 영도 꺼야겠다. 잠시만요. 아 구독 너무 감사합니다.
I hoped the key might unlock the front door. It didn't.
어. 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 자, 오케이 하는데 이거. 잠깐만. 이게 다야? 잠깐 설명이 너무 불친절한데? 그렇게 문을 여는 걸 실패해서 나는 집을 떠났다. 아니 이거 뭐 열라고 돼 있는 것 같은데? 안 열려. 아닌가 봐. 굳이 열 필요 없는 건가 봐. 근데 이거 안 하면 또 불편한데. 왜 이래 이거. 됐다.
Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me.
마이크 바꿨어요. 여기는 못 들어가니까 문을 열고 들어갈 수 있는 데를 찾아야겠네. 배가 좀 나았네, 나는. 요 강아지들이 다니는 데인데.
Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
나는 생각보단 날씬해 있어.
The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years, I felt like I was home. But instead of a family, there were just memories of one. Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
분위기 되게 잔잔하다.
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
우리는
It was
왜
like a
떠난
bomb had gone
걸까?
off, killing everyone but sparing the furniture.
갑자기 어느 날 이렇게 치우지도 못하고 집을 떠났는데 왜 그런 걸까요?
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
좀 집이 좀 정신없긴 하다.
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
되게 이상해. 그 AWSD를 순서대로 눌러야 돼. 좀 조작이
Great Grandpa
이상하다.
Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
전쟁이 난 걸까?
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
무슨 말이지? 에디랑 이렇게 방을 이렇게 문을 들여다보 엿보기 구멍을 뚫어놓는 데가 어디 있어?
Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
뭔가 아역 배우 같은 거였나?
Edie's father Odin built the original house.
그리고 얘가 봐봐라야지. 뭔가 되게 대가족이 살던 지대인 건가? 된가 봐. 뭐 열린다 소리가. 잠깐만.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
나도 이런 벽지 갖고 싶다. 물고기
Lewis
좋아하는데.
told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
열쇠 딱 하나 있는데 꼴랑 은거 열쇠였네.
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind the door.
뭔가 약간 무서운데? 분위기가? 무슨 게임이죠? 그러니까 나도 지금 무슨 게임인지 잘
Just like I had no
모르겠는데
idea where all this was gonna lead.
아 이거 자동 저장구나.
I grew up looking at
그래서
Molly's
무서워.
room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
귀여워. 나도 옛날에 서랍장 이런 거 만들었던 기억이 있는데.
Being inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner.
Oh.
I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
무서워. 근데 어렸을 때는 불편한 또 이렇게 막 비밀 공간 이런 거에 집착하거든. 나만의 비밀 공간? 그래서 좋았을 것 같아.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
아이고. 이거 뭐 토끼밥 같은데? 크리스토퍼리.
I thought about eating Christopher,
Ah.
but I held back.
아 너무해.
I kept eating and eating.
아 치약을 먹는다고? 안돼. 너무 짜잖아.
I ate a lot of things that night.
야 겨우살이를 먹는다고? 이거 먹을 수 있는 거예요? 먹을 수 있는 거였나 이게? 오잉.
Then I heard chirping outside my window.
새를 먹자.
It
새가
was
제일
a
낫다.
barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached
아니면-
out for her.
아니면 알을 먹자.
And suddenly,
엄마야! 뭐야?
I was a cat.
에? 뭔데? 우하. 근데 이거 가지지가 않는데. 아 됐다.
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
새가 나 갖고 논다.
Mom and Dad didn't even look at me.
얌. 죽어.
I jumped and I almost got her.
오 시점이 진짜 내려갔어. 난 진짜 고양이였나? 아까 양채가 스포였나?
I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. All I cared about was eating that mama bird. I gobbled her up.
어 진짜 먹어? 어머야 고양이가 원래 새를
Suddenly,
먹나?
I was an
Mama.
owl. First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
꿈인가?
Rabbits.
진짜 신기한 게임이다. 너무 최선을 다해서 자막단 게 느껴져. 잡으라는 거야? 쫓아가라는 거 아니야? 네. 아, 맞네. 따라가라는 거지. 아, 저 에임이 안 좋은데요? 야, 어려워! 잠만. 됐다!
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I
이제
flew
토끼가
off to
되나?
find something bigger.
사슴을 먹자.
A mama rabbit.
어.
She was almost too big to carry. I started
냠냠냠냠냠냠.
choking, but I couldn't stop eating.
냠냠냠냠냠냠냠냠냠냠.
But suddenly, I was a shark.
에이. 물이 없는데? 에잉? 움직일 수 있어. 뭔데? 아,
I rolled off the cliff and into the ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
헝그리 샤크다. 외국이잖아. 바다가 뭐 이리 얇냐? 얇냐? 저기 뭐 방금 아 이거 조작 아 조작이 이상해.
I wanted fat, juicy soups.
냠냠냠냠.
I tore off her flipper, and it tasted really good.
아니야 이 게임 약간 조작이 좀 특이해. 이 내용이 뭐를 뜻하는 건지 알고 싶어요. 치약을 먹은 것도 좀 이상하고. 저거 먹자. 그만 도망가. 씨.
Grabbed on tight. I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water.
어?
When I opened my eyes, everything had changed.
난 뱀이야. 소리가. 근데 뭔가 식감이 이상하네.
Now I was a monster, and I smelled people everywhere.
야! 진짜요? 나 좀 커지지 않았어? 기분 탓인가?
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
아니 이거 약간 아이씨 불편하네. 잠깐만요. 뭔가 아니. 약간 님들도 뭔가 내가 불편해하는 게 느껴지니까 무슨 말인지.
After the last passenger, I was still hungry.
뭔가 있어.
Across the water, I smelled
한번 놀라요. 아프면
something I had to have, so I swam towards it.
물뱀이었나?
I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
화면 살려줬다고? 저는 관대합니다. 냠냠냠냠냠냠. 냠냠냠냠. 냠냠냠. 다 먹어버리자.
I
게임을
got closer
어두워.
and closer.
여기 아까 내 방 아니야? 여기 내가 처음 시작한 방이잖아.
All of my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
이거 공포 게임은 아니지?
I'm not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
일단 애들의 일기 같은 건 믿으면 안 돼.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the
죽어버렸네
doors.
얘네. 뭔가 부엉이도 여기 있고 상어도 여기 있고 그런 거 보니까 내 생각에는 얘가 약간 상상 속엔 그런 거 아닐까? 부엉이도 여기 있고 상어도 있고 약간 상상에서 여기 이거 뱀도 있고 여기 요런 거 이런 거 보고 상상한 것 같아 내 생각에는. 동물이 좋아하는 아이라서 여기도 뭐가 토끼가 여기 있었을 것 같고.
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
무서운 소리 하네. 애들은 그냥 작은 걸로 그런 걸 많이 하잖아. 상상을 많이 하잖아. 여기 뭔가 있어야 될 것 같은데요, 없니? 방금 뭐 열리는 소리 났는데. 안녕하세요. 보감님. 처음에 상호작용 된다고? 안 되는데? 아 되나? 아 됐다. 감사합니다. 위험한데.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room.
아, 에디는 할머니였어. 증조 할머니. 그리고 할머니는 세리 좋아했어. 가짜 세리.
We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
아, 나도 이 게임 약간
Edie knit me a new
집중하게
pair of gloves
돼서.
every year, just in time to replace the old ones. Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
루이스가 죽었다.
Her room was like a museum.
그렇긴 해.
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
유명한 집인가 보네. 이게 끝이야? 덜 읽은 것 같은데.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
저주?
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house.
집을
hoping to leave the
옮겼다고?
curse
거짓말
behind.
아니야? 집을 배로 옮겼다고?
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington
거짓말하니?
send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore in their new home. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
우리 할머니네? 끝.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
우리 가족에게는 뭔가 저주가 있는 것 같아요. 근데 집이 참 아기자기하고 되게 이런
Edie
소품
told
같은
people
거에
Sven was killed by
돈
a
많이
dragon.
들었다.
She could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
되게 분위기 마음에 들어.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
할머니가 약간 괴짜 같은 느낌?
Even in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
어휴, 바닥이. 상호작용되는 거 있나?
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
할아버지.
It was a pretty big trace.
좀 가다 핑크는. 타월. 화장실의 비밀이라는 책이. 여기 이 집 사람들 이렇게 자기
There's a secret in
일기장에
this bathroom.
뭔데?
It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book.
어? 참
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
여기는 어느 방일까요, 또?
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him.
쌍둥이. 증조 할머니였으니까 이거는 그 아들인 거지, 할아버지니까. 오케이. 이런 거 좋아. 이렇게 계속 정보가 나오다가 마지막 순간에 합쳐지는 거.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
버섯 맛있는데, 불편. 더 높이. 진짜 버섯 맛있는데?
At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
더 높이.
Calvin!
더 높이.
Dinner's ready! Coming!
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do
Oh,
it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
이거 위험한데? 무서운데?
Calvin!
Oh,
I'm not
에반데,
gonna
이거?
tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
나 이거 내가 하고 있지만 하고 싶지 않은
then
거야.
maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
하고 싶지 않은데.
I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly, and he did.
약간 소름 돋아, 느낌이. 약간 소름 쫙 올라와, 내가 하는 거 있는데.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing. After the funeral,
저게 근데 돼요?
Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
아니, 저게 되나? 물리적으로?
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
여기 방은 좀 오기 싫겠다. 이렇게 누가 봐도 이렇게 반 갈라갖고 친구랑 그건디. 오야. 집이 이상해.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd
내가
obviously been built for smaller
내가
hands
조금만
and
더
bellies.
뚱뚱해지면 큰일 날 뻔했지. 날씬해서 다행이었고.
Mom must have locked the third floor stairs on the night we left.
와, 이거 누가 봐도 야, 여기가 거기네. 다시 들어가야 되나? 아까 끝까지 가야 되나? 맞네. 얘 좀 무서워. 일단 부자였던 것
Growing
같아.
up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
아, 방황에서 죽었는데 걔에 대한 무서운 얘기가 나온 거예요? 미국에
Oh,
가장
Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch.
그네 그
As
죽었지.
a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father,
Oh?
Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box.
Oh.
The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
아까 그거다.
I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
연출이 정말 마음에 든다, 근데.
She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
이거 내가 이거 그건데 할로윈.
She found Rick's crutch and imagined the worst.
할로윈.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
약간 눈이 아픈 거? 어디야? 근데 이게
The old Finch rattled
어,
and grew still.
안 돼, 설마.
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
내 말이.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She
허술하고
threw
있어.
him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there?
아!
Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
또 가야 돼? 아.
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished, but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a
아,
hand.
느낌이 안 좋은데?
Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. And there he was. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
That night, she played her part beautifully.
아니 이거 폭폭이냐? 무서워.
She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it.
은수 동생 둘 중 한 단에 살아야지. 씨.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years.
네, 만화 속 상황인데 제가 계속 플레이는 하고 있어요.
He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
막 다쳐야지 가자. 형진이 안녕하세요. 막 다치러 갑니다. 저는 그렇게 해치웠나 하지 않습니다. 어?
Hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
이걸 열어줘? 이걸 열어?
Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
안돼 뒤에 두 명.
Oh dear.
어?
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen.
PKAP였어?
She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara.
아무래도 책이니까 동화책 같은 거니까 약간
She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
아 뭐야 귀. 야 이거 무서운데?
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
어딜 봐서 해피엔딩이 나는 건지. 16살이 죽은 거야? 너무 금방 죽어버렸다. 이게 뭐야? 관 아니야?
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
길을 잘 알려줘서 좋다. 아래로 내려가래. 아까 그거 해봐야죠. 귀 없겠지? 귀 없겠지? 무서워. 이게 뭐였죠? 색감이 괜찮다.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
너무 어둡죠?
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
집에 이런 거 있으면 재밌긴 하겠다.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
이거 돌려서 여는 건데? 근데 안 돌아가서.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine.
마우스를 돌려야 돼 이번에? 진짜 이상해 이거. 이번에니까 마우스를 돌려야 돼.
That's what kept me sane. Having the schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
이거 되게 불편해져.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. stranded. And then one day, everything just
이것만 먹고 살 수 있나?
stopped.
손에 막 반점이 생긴 걸 보니까
Whatever that thing was, it was gone.
나이가 들었나
Maybe
봐,
it got
그죠?
tired.
나이가
Maybe.
들은 것 같아요.
Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid.
이것만 먹고 30년이 살았다고? 복숭아만? 넘찬이.
It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
30년 전에 나가지.
I know it's out there somewhere.
무서워.
Whatever killed Barbara
무서워.
and Molly
무서워.
and Calvin.
무서워.
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food.
그래, 너무 질리잖아.
I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one more day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
그래, 밑에 있는 게, 아, 밑에 있어서 못 내려가게 한 거구나. 근데 이 사람은 왜 다른 사람들 위해서 행복하게 살 때 밑에 있었을까?
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
아, 그걸 본 트라우마 때문에 뭔가 문제가 있어서 그런가 보네. 아, 12시마다 흔들리는 게 기차 때문이었구나.
Maybe she was afraid I would look like Walter.
아, 불쌍해라, 평생을.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house,
복숭아 말고 딴 것도 좀
I
주지.
can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive.
포켓몬 이제 모르겠어.
Now that there's only one of us left.
괜찮긴 해요.
Or
좀
maybe
무서운데.
I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. And found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
저주는 실제가 아니었다고? 원래는
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
아, 내가 마지막이니까 저주가 퀴실.
But I thought you should know about your family.
유? 이 일기를 쓰는 사람은 누굴까요?
And the history you're a part of.
내 자식?
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
그러니까 청자가 누구지? 정확히?
I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
이 게임 너무 마음에 든다.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
다시 입구로 돌아왔어요.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but
여기구나.
the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edith who designed the cemetery. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edith's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edith, the past never went away.
죽은 사람을 이렇게 만드는 게
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
이게 뭔데? 아, 바로 앞에서 부수는 거야?
Edith said she dreamed about the old house every night.
배에다가 집을 싣고 왔다 그랬거든. 길을 뭔가 잘못 들었나? 이거 한번 더 봐야 되나? 아닌데.
Edith's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now.
어머니는
Part of
어디
me
계시나?
thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
아, 내 애기한테 배에 있는 애기한테 쓴 거구나. 나 임신 중인데. 아, 그래서 배가 나왔구나. 아까 내가 난 뚱뚱한 애 이랬던 게 임신을 해서였구나. 아, 난 뚱뚱한 게 아니었어. 임신한 거였어.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
우리 할아버지 셀카 중요하잖아. 어.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit.
Please just take...
Smile, Dawn. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures,
재밌다
okay?
이건.
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are. Definitely should not have drunk all that. Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years.
나 틀렸어?
Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could
아닌
remember
것
where that
같은데?
trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map. Let's see.
뭔가 기준이 약간 초점이 팍 잡히더라고 걔한테.
Good eyes, Dawn.
와. 와.
Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of it.
Dad, I...
Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Great shot, Dawn!
어우야. 하기 싫다는데 왜 그래?
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
왜 이걸 강요하냐?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
silly.
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about
참 이거를
Of
그거라고
all
해야
these
되나?
stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
인간 뭐라 해야 되나? 이걸 또.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
또 비밀의 문이 있죠. 역시.
After Sam died,
딱히
My mom and
공통점이
Edith got
있는 것
really
같진 않은데.
they'd both lost a lot.
애기도 죽었나 보네. 아유 참. 다 죽긴 죽었어.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
난 너무 통통해.
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
개구리 개구리. 무서워. 난 여자일까 남자일까?
Time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie.
근데 애를 이렇게 냅둬도 돼? 애가 목욕하는데 냅두고 간다고?
I don't want to talk right now.
이해가 안 되네.
I wonder what he saw.
아, 이거 내가 움직이는 거였어?
He reminded me so much of Calvin.
내가 개구리야
Lost
지금.
in his imagination.
이게 아싸의 삶인가? 인사들이 놀고 있을 때 가서 방해하고 나도 껴주라고.
Whatever it was he saw.
이게 뭐야? 친구가 3명 생겼어. 뭐가 이 글씨를 다 떼내야 되나? 고래 너도 낄래? 안 되는데? 아, 이거 얘 따라서 몸 움직이게 돼. 이거 누르는 건가?
It sure made him happy.
됐다. 아, 나 이 애기 죽을 것 같아서 너무 불안해. 아, 내가 죽을 것 같아서. 우리 성공하나? 고대 어떻게 뒤집냐? 잠깐만. 팜! 팜! 됐다. 고래야 뭐라도 해봐. 고래를 밟고 내 생각에는 뭔가 하는 것 같다. 오른쪽이?
I know how silly this sounds,
뭔데 이게 이거?
but I worried about a baby being too heavy.
아, 헐. 그거 있잖아, 입욕제. 안 되는데.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
아, 다행이다.
I know you did everything you could.
애기가
Maybe
죽는
if
건
I
좀
hadn't
그래.
called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
뭔데? 저 사람 좀.
I wish she could have told us
아,
about the world we saw.
내가 그런 거 아니야. 난 아무것도 안
So
했어.
much I don't understand about Gregory. About everything.
연출이 좋긴 한데 이건 좀. 아니야, 난 개구리란 말이야. 개구리는 물에 산다고. 이거 뽑으라고.
I'm sure he's happy.
내 밖으로 왔나고.
And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
이거는 엄마 멘탈 깨진다. 솔직히. 인정? 근데 엄마가 잘못했어, 100%.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
참 신기한 게.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart.
연으로 힐링 중.
I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to
Come here.
But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger.
어프. 싹 청바가지 오는 것 같아, 이러고. 나의 컨테너에.
The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
자연이 그대를 심판할 것이야.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
뭔데 이거? 나는 바랐다. 어? 이쯤이면 저주가 맞는 것 같은데. 그냥 이걸 놓으면 되잖아.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone. Just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
하나, 둘, 셋, 넷, 4명 더 죽었다. 아, 머리 봐. 반항적인 자식. 엄마 말이 잘 들었어야지. 씨. 그치, 어릴 때 죽었지만 삼촌인 거지. 좀 제대로 왔나? 잘못 왔나?
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
잠시만요, 여러분. 오일을 깨서 죄송한데 제 헤드셋 충전기를 좀 고백해요. 자꾸 삐삐거려서 제가 몰입이 안 돼갖고.
없죠.
발로기님 청원 감사합니다. 내용은 짝퉁바가지지만 너무 이런 거 너무 무섭지 않아요? 진짜 곰이잖아요. 아니 왠지 뭔가 이번에는 약간 길이 똑바로 안 보여져 있어서 뭔가 조심스럽네. 내려가는 거 아니야? 그러니까 다시 오게 될까봐 헤매게 될까. 이렇게 참는 게임이 아니라서 좋은데 내가 뭔가 급하게 나가버렸나봐요. 근데요, 집에 이렇게 계속 추모하는 데를 만드는 건 좋은데요, 이 정도 죽으면 그냥 방 하나에 몰아놓지 이렇게 집안 곳곳에 저런 거 놔두면은 좀 그러지 않나? 다시 와야 하는 거였네? 여기가
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
와, 방을 이렇게? 아, 근데 이거 약간 이런 집 약간 로망이긴 한데 막상 살면 불편할 것 같죠? 약간 로망이 있는 집이긴 하다. 컴퓨터발이. 백은 안
She spent a
들어가겠다.
summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
또 죽었어?
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later.
그럼 루이스는 나의 형제인데? 루이스는 어떻게 된 거지?
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal, but it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
진짜 특이하다. 얘인 것 같아요.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
또 이상해. 아 이거 옛날에 그 많이 그리고 놀았지. 맞아. 방금 뭐라 했지? 이건 나도 그릴 수 있는데 그냥 까맣게 칠하면 되는데.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
어? 왜 사라졌는데? 왜 사라졌는데? 어디 갔는데?
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
어머니가 제정신을 유지한 게 신기하네요. 남편 죽고.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
뭘까 대체?
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
처음에 나왔던 근데 어쩔 땐 밀고 어쩔 땐 당겨가지고 이건 요트네? 요트에 사네? 이러면은 혼자 은밀한 행동을 아예 못해서
That part of him lived on.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to... wander.
아이 비켜 연어들아.
I asked him to describe it. He said
아이
he
계속 해야
started
돼.
small.
아이씨 안 그럼 화면 가려. 아이.
Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself.
뭔가 게임 속 장면 같네요. 아니 공주 아닌가?
But he found something more. I worried about him then.
약간 뷰가 바뀌었네.
Daydreaming at the cannery.
그래서 근데 같은 장면만 계속 아니 같은 일이 계속 하는데 당연히 뭔가 시간을 보내게 되지 않을까?
I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
점점
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
공상이 커져서
He built the city up slowly,
점점
brick
커지는
by
건가
brick.
봐.
Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play.
뭐 지겨운 일을 할 때
He talked about starting a band.
상상하는 거는 이해를 가는데
And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
연어라고
longer
처음에
spoke
되게
at the
나왔어요.
cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him. That all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor.
약간 나나 어워드 같다. 자기 내가 열어가지고 내가 대상 타잖아.
And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
이 게임 여행이 정말 신선하다.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
어?
Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
왜 이래?
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
멋있는 여왕.
handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for
사악한 뱀.
sinister serpents.
한 주먹거리 뱀. 슈가.
He followed the sound of her
은하프. 은하프. 하프가 뭔가 뭐지니까?
silver harp.
이 와중에 계속 연어 머리 잘라야 돼서
His
몰입이
chase led him
힘드네.
to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination.
갑자기 이렇게 많아져. 여왕이 좀 뚱뚱하네. 건강하네.
But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
점점 이제 3인칭 가까이 점점 시점이 가까워져. 나는 나나양이다. 나는 우주
For
대스타.
someone who'd never
당연히
known
왕보다
success in the real world, I
왕보다
think it
대단한
was
존재.
overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
손이 없어졌어.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
아싸, 엄마 보고 싶지. 연어 200마리 만더 손질하면 엄마 볼 수 있어.
이제 현실은 너무 무섭다. 원래 통조림 공장 이런가요? 아깝다. 맛있겠다.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
이 존재가 나잖아. 난데? 나 자신인걸?
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with
안녕하세요.
his
안녕하세요.
companions.
나나양입니다. 여러분의 우주 대스타 나나양입니다. 반갑습니다. 그래요. 좋아요.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting me.
이런 삶이 내가 원하는 삶인 것 같아. 다 나를 좋아하고. 너는 좀 크구나.
His queen waited,
아 내가 여자인데 괜히 여왕으로 선택했다. 아 몰입 안돼. 아씨 왕자로 할걸 젠장.
There was only one thing left to do.
싫어. 싫다고. 왕자.
Bend down his head. I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
이거 힐링 게임이 아닌 것 같은데.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
전형적인 투수였구만. 누가 힐링 게임이냐고 했냐고요? 김진우. 사장님 김진우라고 그랬네요 제가. 죄송합니다.
또 속녀 막내야.
근데 게임 자체는 마음에 들어. 가끔 좀 그 게임 자체는 굉장히 재밌어. 몰입되죠 여러분들도. 게임 자체는 굉장히 마음에 들어. 이게 내가 정확히 달라고 한 정확한 스토리 게임, 몰입되는 스토리 게임 정확해. 근데 내가 길을 제대로 가고 있나?
절 대온 길로 돌아가지 마.
반발 심리 이용하려고 하네. 아. 도대체 무슨 저주일까?
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
다 죽는데 떠나야지. 집에 저주가 걸려 있을지 누가 알아.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
아예 다 냅두고 튀었어?
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe I should have come sooner. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
난 날씬하네.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol.
Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway.
Bye.
Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
웃으면서 목 잘렸으니 이젠 고사상 위에 올라갈
The power had been
차례네.
shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
조심히.
Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
엄마가 똑똑하네.
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
열까 말까? 읽고 싶어? 열까 말까?
Dear,
해봤어.
there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
가까운데 뭐.
I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things.
어?
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
여기 들어간다고?
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
아, 얘기 안
I never
끝났는데.
saw Great Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this.
그러게 자기 자식한테 뭐라고 설명해주냐.
If we lived
저주가 있어서 다
forever,
죽었다고.
maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it.
이거 내가 설마 이거 얘기
I just want to
지점이야?
meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way.
아직 그렇게.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
에디스도 죽었구나. 딱 하나 아쉬운 걸 말하자면 뭔가 끝나지 않은 스토리인 게 약간 뭐지? 결말이 오픈인 게 약간 아쉬운데 결국 그래서 뭐였는데 이런 느낌이긴 한데 그냥 그 자체로만 즐기면 진짜 괜찮은 것 같아. 그냥 그 순간순간 머리 엄청 잘 돼. 그냥 충분한 것 같아. 그냥 그걸로 그 순간순간이 재밌었던 걸로. 아니 아들까지 죽어야 만족하는 게 아니라 그냥 그 저주가 뭐였을까라고 시작하는 내용이었는데 그거는 안 나와서 좀 아쉽긴 한데 근데 진짜 괜찮다. 딱 편하게 볼 수 있었어. 무섭긴 했어 생각보단. 근데 그렇다고 또 완전 무서운 건 아니고. 좀 무서운 소설.
애초에 게임상을 받은 게 아니라 필름상을 받은 거라 게임보단 인터랙티브 무비에 가깝네요.
전혀 게임성은 좀
저주 이름 안전불감증.
게임은 막 뭐 퍼즐을 풀고 이런 거보다는 그냥 이야기를 영화를 보는 느낌? 그래서 좋았어. 나 오늘 하고 싶었던 게 이런 식의 게임이었거든. 괜찮네. 볼만하네. 아기 죽는 건 좀 그랬어. 아기 죽는 건 좀 마음에 안 들었어.
힐링게임이라서 집에서 혼자 보고 있었는데 지모TV 언팔하러 갑니다.
힐링 게임은 아닌데 게임 자체가 재미가 있어서 게임이 재미가 있어서 그냥 오랜만에 정말 게임 했다. 내가 처음에 비싸다 그랬잖아. 전혀 비싸지 않니 이 정도면. 이렇게 즐거웠던 두 시간이 최근에 없었던 것 같아. 이 두 명 있는 잽스 사진을 왜 둘이서 다른 데를 보고 있냐?
놓친 게 많아서 다시 보기 꼭 봐야겠다. 갓겜이었습니다.
재밌었어요. 제가 그렇게 많이 떠들지 않고 저도 스토리를 봐가지고 제가 막 배그 같은 경우는 계속 말하면서 하는데 이런 건 저도 보고 싶어갖고 집중해갖고 제가 말도 별로 안 해서 그냥 편하게 보실 수 있을 것 같아요. 재밌다. 5년이나 걸린 게임. 근데 그럴만해. 자막 센스 봤어요? 자막 센스가 진짜 괜찮았죠? 결국 다 죽고 여기 있는 다 죽고 내 아들 하나 남은 거니? 그러니까 재밌었어요. 그래요. 좋은 게임이었습니다. 와, 유튜브 친구들 안녕. 일단 유튜브에 올릴지 모르겠지만 다시 하기 옵션은 그냥 똑같은 거 다시 한다는 뜻이겠지? 나는 이렇게 생겼구나. 나는 언제 죽었는지 나오지 않았어. 내가 적는 건데 내가 죽은 걸 기록하진 않았겠지. 나는 아직 안 죽었으니까. 그러니까 내가 죽을 때 내가 이걸 적었지는 않아서 안 나와 있네. 이 아저씨는 좀 잘 됐고 이 아저씨는 좀 그럴만했어. 이거는 좀 너무 이건 너무 미묘했고 실종된 거.